It was an extraordinary week in Canberra last week, with the government seeking to rush through draconian immigration laws to force immigration detainees to go home. The attempts at the legislation failed after the opposition and Greens teamed up in the Senate to send the laws to a parliamentary inquiry, with the opposition saying the process was too rushed and unintended consequences needed to be scrutinised. The legislation was an attempt to try to head off High Court decisions which have resulted in the releases of criminal detainees. One of the extraordinary things about this is that the government feels it cannot say why it is acting so urgently because it doesn't want to be seen as interfering with the High Court or affecting legal decisions. It doesn't want to link their legislation to a case before the High Court involving an Iranian man, ASF 17, who is attempting to be released. But clearly there's a link. That case is back before the court in a couple of weeks. The legislation seeks to prevent citizens from certain countries like Iran coming here if governments don't accept forced removals. And it also seeks to jail illegal immigrants who won't go home. It's all to do with the High Court and trying to stop the immigration system from ceasing to work. More on this with the Foreign Minister Penny Wong shortly, but here's some irony. The Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill, who's pushing for mandatory minimum sentences of 1 year's jail for the individuals who refuse to apply for a passport to have them removed, herself spoke in Parliament about why mandatory minimum sentences didn't work in 2017.
We don't support mandatory minimums, and we don't for very good reason, because we know that they won't work.
So last week the government expected the opposition to support the legislation, but they've kicked it off to this Senate committee. Now the government believes the opposition owns this detainee problem as well as them after it didn't support the bill.